Well, I've got it open, and it is very, very similar. Only thing I see different is this pulley here with the cable. I'm sure that has to do with the auto return. So, or the auto play, auto start, and auto return, because that was not in the SL-Q2. So other than that, everything looks the same. I'm going to be replacing the power cable. I'm going to be removing this thin power cable, get a nice shielded one. Not that it probably makes a whole lot of difference. Some of you are going to say, oh, what for? Why not? It's my turntable, damn it. I'll do as I please. So I got to clean out the old grease, put some new lithium grease in that I got, and take some deox to the switches. Make sure everything is working freely and clean. And yes, I'm going to drop down the Tonearm and replace the Tonearm wiring. I've got a set that I had used for my SLD2 that I end up pulling out of my PL100. Pioneer PL400 that I pulled out of that Tonearm that I couldn't get to work. So, but I am resurrecting my PL400. I've ordered another Tonearm assembly. I think I'm supposed to get it sometime next week, so that'll be my next project. No big hurry. So I'm going to resurrect it, and I also ordered the grommet for the feet coming out of Portugal. Guess they're 3D printed, I think. Anyway, back to the Q3 that is. So everything looks pretty good. Just got to get started on the cleaning and everything. Okay, signing off for now. Till later. Okay, got a lot of new lube put in here. I got the this all really cleaned up well. This is probably one of the cleanest used turntables that I've gotten in. Nothing's broken. Everything it's really clean. It was just dusty, and a film of grime was on there, and it's cleaning up really good. And as you can see, I've got the Tonearm out. Already got some Tonearm wire to go in, so I think I might call it a wrap for tonight and work on it some more tomorrow. This shouldn't take any time at all. So everything's going good so far. Well, here we are now with the Tonearm torn apart. I got the DIN socket pulled out, the wiring's all the way out. This is going much easier than my SLD2. So now I just need to get these wire ends off, get it cleaned up a little bit, get the new wiring in, get it through the tube, and in just like, oops, yep, comes in right through the back there. Yeah, I think you can see that, where that wire's coming out. Come on. Anyway, that's where it comes through and out through there. So let's just continue on here. Well, that was fun. Hardest part is getting the terminals off the pins. Takes quite a bit of finagling with my angled needle nose there. But I got them all off. Got them all polished off a little bit. Looking a little rough there, but they're okay. So now I just got to put the new wires on and get it all put back together. Usually in the past I've had to take a marker and mark on the socket in here which color code is, but since I got this extra head shell with the wires on, just going to connect it. Just always remember the two mount screws that goes in the bottom of the tone arm are on the bottom, and that's where the green and the blue wires are, and the red and green are on top. So just follow the wiring back to each pin when connecting up what new wires. Just a hint. Okay, red on top of green and white on top of blue. We got it all on there. The clips are a little worn, but I finally got them on there nice and tight. So now to put the rest of it together. Okay, got the wire put through here. Just got to put it through, finish putting it through here so it's fed correctly. And a bit of a challenge. Had to take out these two screws because the ground wire is attached to a I don't know what you call it, a grounding plate. It's grounded onto the arm here, and I couldn't get the wires past it to get into the back here. So once I got them fed through, then I got them fed through and pulled through one at a time, and then I had to put one wire one at a time through the opening here to feed out through here with the ground wire. So everything's put back together and it's all wired. So let's continue on. And that's how it should look when you're done. If you don't put it through there, up through the middle, which I'll show later, you will screw up. Oh well. Alright, I've got the tone arm in place. Got 1, 2, and mounts the tone arm itself to the plinth, and then one screw here for this. Now if you watched my video, the part 2 of the tone arm wiring on my SL-D2 that I did recently, you'll remember that the wiring has to come up through that hole right there, because if you don't, you're going to get some serious anti-skate problems. It will not work correctly. So I found this out the hard way one time on another turntable I did. Yeah, because I oopsed, but I'll show you once I get it done. Alright, all 5 wires are now fed through. Sorry about that. Need to focus a little bit better, but there you go. Through the middle and through here. Now I can get this thing back in place. And to make it easier, be sure and put those 2 mount screws. It goes in the bottom part. Woo, right here of the tone arm into the plinth. Put those in first before putting in this part here, or you're not going to be able to reach the screws. Okay, big hint. I have thoroughly went back through everything a second time while moving the drive mechanisms to make sure I've got old grease wiped off the best I could and all new white lithium grease on all the moving parts where the grease, old grease used to be. So it's like even got it up there where it was on the cable, on the drive wheel here, on the moving parts. Should make better, quieter operating turntable. Let's hope. Okay, on to the next. Well, I got the holes drilled for the RCA jacks. Having to use a file to get the I don't have the exact bit because it was like an in-between size. I use a 3/8 and I'm using a file here to get the rest of it out because this is a metal plinth. You have to get the gap so the washer that has the lip fits on the inside so it doesn't ground up against the metal plinth, or you're going to have all kinds of funky bad humming sounds. So I got one done, got one more to grind out, and then we'll be ready to wire it up along with the power cord. That's later. Okay. Alright, I have them both mounted in. They're both, let me get the light down here a little bit better. Got them both in here nice and flush, so that way it's not grounding out to the metal plinth. Got them spaced nice and even in there. I gotta put the ground post in there. Working on that still. Alright, then once I get that in there, then I'm going to hook up the wiring. Next. Alright, I got the grounding post in. I cut part of the shaft off, it was too long. I used a small piece of latex rubber to line this part in here. I used some rapid fuse to make it stick to the bottom, and then use a screwdriver to hold it in place and tighten it down with a 10mm wrench so it is in there nice and tight, not going anywhere. So I used the latex rubber to insulate the ground from grounding out to the plinth. It's like just like the jacks, you don't want it grounding out to the metal plinth or it's going to ruin everything. So you have to be very careful about that. So everything is set. Now I just got to connect up the wires. Alright, got all the wiring done. Left channel, white's hot, blue's ground. Right channel, right hot, green ground. Ground wire soldered on. I put the old PCB back in, and it is zip tied to wires so they can not be flailing around in the bottom, possibly getting tangled up in some of the mechanisms down here. We don't want that. So everything is good to go. So now I just gotta cut and prep the power cord. Alright, next. Alright, I've got the new power cord installed, anchored down, and routed through a nice grommet, super glued in. Everything is connected. So all it's left to do is put the bottom plate back on, put it together, and hook it up and give it a test. Alright, the last thing I've got to do is oil the motor bearing. So I'll just give it a good coating all the way around. Sure there's no oil on my fingers. Gonna put the platter on. Give it a good spin to work out. And I got this brand new Hudson Hi-Fi acrylic platter in. It's a blue tint. So, last touch. That's not the cart that's going to be playing on it. Because, ta-da, nothing on there. Okay, next step is to test it out. I'm going to pull out my SL-D2 and put this in place and hook it up and give it a test. Alright, moment of truth. I'm getting sound through the pulse meter. Record's clean. We got Boston Debut side 1. We're going to hit the start button. There's not going to be any sound because I'm going through my headphones and my wife's already in bed. Oh, I need to adjust where the album goes down. And not getting any sound. Okay. Okay, problem fixed. Forgot to hook up turntable to the step-up transformer. Had it hooked up to the SL-Q3, so here we go. And I got the Tonearm adjusted at the beginning of the album. Here we go. Alright, we got sound, so we are good to go. That's a wrap. Very successful refurb on my SL-Q3. Oh well, on to the next project. My PL400 will be next. Tonearm comes in on Monday. Alright, long live vinyl. If you like my videos, hit the like button, subscribe, and share it.